Hi, welcome to the third episode of the podcast on AI solving real business problems. We are creating this space to talk about the power and the realities of the technology usages like AI, ML, smart IoT, digital twin, cloud, big data, and more. Our discussions and interviews will be focused on applications and use of these technologies in businesses today and in the future. The purpose of this discussion is to get an idea around AI and business transformation as it's applied, the realities, what works, what doesn't work. Today, we are going to have a conversation with one of our top customers, California Design Den. California Design Den is a digital first bedding brand and retailer based in California. The bed linen products are designed to improve sleep and wellness as well as complement our lives. To expand internationally and compete with large online retailers, California Design Den successfully supported its expansion into e-commerce by leveraging Google, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, blending that with their supply chain process. Now, let's dive in. Let me introduce you to Deepak Mehrotra. He is the founder CEO of California Design Den. Hi, Deepak. Welcome to the podcast around AI solving real business problems.
Thank you, Manjunath, for that introduction. I'm Deepak Mehrotra, founder of California Design Den, and glad to be here with you guys talking about AI and supply chain and all the good stuff.
Thank you, Deepak. Before we got started, can you tell us a little bit more about you and California Design Den?
Sure. California Design Den is a direct-to-consumer brand that was started a little over 3 years back. What we do is we provide luxury bedding to consumers in US and around the world. This journey started more than 16 years back when we started to manufacture white label products for retailers in US and Canada. Our products primarily are cotton luxury bed sheets, the high thread count ones that we all love to sleep in. And for over a decade, we continue to make quality products, label them for the retailers, and a manufacturer, wholesaler, that's pretty much the industry we were in. As consumers started to move more and more online, we saw a need to have our own brand where we could actually directly talk to the customer, listen to them, design products that they actually needed, give them high quality product at tremendous value. So that's how California Design Den was born. Being in Silicon Valley, we always had this thought about being digital first, not just e-commerce, but how our systems were or how our systems should be. And that's pretty much it.
Great. Thank you, Deepak. Okay, Deepak. What were your strategy and goals for 2020? Did they shift due to the disruption caused by COVID-19?
Manju, 2020, the beginning of 2020 was very, very interesting because last 3 years, our brand has grown over 100% year over year. The product portfolio was increasing. We were getting tremendous reviews. I mean, tens of thousands of reviews on our products, all 4.5, 4.6 stars. So we were at a juncture that we said 2020 is going to really take us to that next level that we were looking for. We were expanding into other marketplaces. So apart from US, we had plans to launch into Canada, Mexico, UK, Germany, Japan. So it was all coming good till 2020 March happens, with the lockdown and COVID. We initially thought that there's going to be a lot of disruption in our demand, but actually it went the other way. Demand actually skyrocketed. It figures, right? Everyone is at home, stores are closed. I don't know if people were working or just lying on their bed because bedsheet sales were through the roof. Um, so initially there was a scare, then we saw the demand spike, and then guess what happens? No supplies. Um, it's early November now, and still our supplies are broken. Everything went out of the window as far as all the other plans were concerned. So if we look at 2020, the kind of disruption we have had in supply chain, um, we didn't plan for it. We really didn't plan for it. The good part, a slight good part had been that we, because of our efforts last couple of years, um, with this journey on supply chain and AR and optimizations, we had a lot of our data pipes and our data in one place. So when this disruption started to happen, at least we had clear visibility into what was going wrong and where. That's another point. We couldn't do much about it. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
That's definitely an intriguing and an interesting journey that you have seen, especially with the customer shift in demand and also the trends that you probably saw, which most of us could not expect it to happen in 2019, 2020. So moving on. So Deepak, with the big push into e-commerce and digital transformation that you got into, what role did you envision AI, and in this case, Pluto 7 helping you, make in the particular shift to demand forecasting analytics?
Sure. So when we spoke a couple of years back on AI, and as a brand or being located in the Silicon Valley, we always knew that we have to be ahead in the race as far as analytics is concerned. And machine learning, artificial intelligence, those buzzwords are so hot that even small companies like ours were intrigued and excited about it. And that's how we jumped into this. The interesting learning was, to be very frank, we thought it's some kind of a magic, right? But of course, we were well told that it takes time, and then we did realize that it's going to take some time, and it did take some time. But more important, I want to just keep the AI and ML part aside. To get to a point where all our data could be at least in one place and be clean and be accessible by all the stakeholders and be almost real time, that itself was, I think, 70% of or 80% win for us. Because we didn't really realize that so much of the data was in so many places. Only when we took this journey, of course, because we wanted to really get into deploying some of those machine learning models and what have you, that we put all this together. So I would actually say the big win was that first, right? And now we understand access to clean data, how good that is, right? How important that is. And then on the ML portion, of course, we were competing with everyone in this whole universe, right? Including large retailers, whether it's I wouldn't take any names, but you know what I'm talking about. So as a small business, how do you compete online with really large companies, with large armies of people and analysts and what have you? So, and then as your product portfolio grows, right, where you have initially one product, it's very easy for you to forecast. And when the sales are low, then again, it's very easy to forecast. But once this demand starts to increase, and from one or let's say one product has like 20 SKUs, colors and size and what have you. Now you scale that up to 1,000 or 1,500 SKUs, and each one of that having its own rate of sale, different demand patterns, seasonality. I mean, you keep layering after layering after layering. I mean, there is no way an Excel sheet can handle that. We would have needed like an army of people to just be on it. So fortunately, because we started this journey with you guys with Pluto 7, and um, on tackling this demand forecasting and then integrating it into a supply chain, the reordering system, where we of course initially with the rule based logic, and then later machine algorithms taking it over, we were much able to reduce the out of stock positions, reduce the excess inventory positions. For a small business, I'll say it was very, very valuable.
Great. Thank you, Deepak. You raised a very important point, Deepak. Most people like, and it's quite natural because of so much of hype in machine learning and AI, they think it's magic. And many times we tell them it's just a lot of math, it's not magic, and there's a discipline behind it. And you highlighted that as well. But more importantly, I think the point that you made is centralizing and connecting the data. That's 70% of the benefit. And I think that's such a valuable lesson. And it probably, if people took that lesson alone, they would save a lot of money by not burning money and building wrong models. We want to build the models the right way for the right purpose. And for that, first, of course, whether you bring the data into BigQuery or something similar is extremely important to first understand the state of the business.
Right.
Now, Deepak, as you looked into this, you went about this journey of bringing the data, centralizing the data, and then analyzing and enabling it for your stakeholders. What was the eventual business impact or the benefit, whether in the form of a metric or KPI, that you saw that this whole technology capability set has enabled you with?
Sure. So, I'm agreeing to what you're saying, which is, when we started the journey, and I may be repeating a bit of myself, the expectation was as if, machine learning is going to bring some magic to us in a month, right? Which wasn't the case. But I think, we knew that, but, some of the stakeholders, especially though we have a small team, and when you guys deployed the models and we all deployed the models, the results started to come in for demand forecasting. And, that SKU was off, or this SKU was on the money, and this wasn't next month. The big realization, or the big question we as a team had, and this is quite important, is, here's the thing. How do we see the future? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line? Do we see that technology will have an important role to play, right? From simple things to more complex things. So we as a team sat back and said, yeah, look at our personal lives, look at our personal exchanges, look at business problems and how we solve it, or even shopping habits. Everything technology is touching and improving, and that is getting improved exponentially, if I may use that word. So it's only a matter of time that we are going to have, algorithms or machines, or the cost of them very affordable for any business, big or small. I mean, we know the big boys are doing it, right? They have the deep pockets to do it. They have an army of data scientists to do it. So what do? So it's a classic David and Goliath story. So we as a small business consciously decided to be part of this journey so that we continue to improve, because it is only a matter of time where it is going to exponentially benefit us. Now, to answer your question, what benefit we got in this last 2.5 years with this journey, and to give a number to it, well, it's huge, right? Why? Because what do I compare it with? If I compare it with the tons of inventory I would have had to hold if I was just running on Excel sheets, there itself, you can easily pick a number, 50% improvement on cost of inventory hold. I mean, I don't even want to put a number to the opportunity cost of having the resources deployed right. Means, as a small business, you have limited working capital. If your working capital is stuck in the wrong product at the wrong time, then you have no scope to grow. And there's an opportunity cost. And if you are not in the market on time and someone else is way ahead of you, you kind of lose your space in the market. your cost to grow or claw back that market share is going to be large. So, it's pretty much, some of those numbers are hard to put by.
Great. Thank you, Deepak. That was really insightful. Now, from your experience, if there's somebody else who is starting the journey now, what is the one thing that you would advise them?
Um, hmm. I think so. I mean, look, my answer is going to be based on our journey. We are very confident and we are very happy on the decisions we took being part of this journey. Again, I think the two takeaways would be the team believing that this is a journey and it's a matter of time when the returns are going to be exponential, right? So I'm not saying that there is no immediate return to the business, the advantages of it, but it's not like a magic. However, because of that journey, the company is forced to look at its data points, to ensure all the data is coming in one place, to ensure all that data is connected. That itself it's huge for any company. So I think the immediate results come with the data part, and then the journey begins where you start to see incremental results and matter of time exponential results. I mean, we believe in that.
Great. Thank you, Deepak. That was an amazing conversation and articulation of your own journey, Deepak. And thank you for sharing those insights. That was an amazing articulation of your journey, Deepak. I'm sure our audience found many insightful tips that they can take and apply for their own businesses. And thank you for sharing that. If you're interested in learning more and staying tuned with us for the next episode, you will hear from some of our ML experts, AutoML, and Google AI experts. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out anything. If you have any questions around how business processes are being transformed or how to get on a cloud and AI journey, feel free to email us at contact@pluto7.com. Thank you, stay safe, and have a great day.